Sure. Yeah. First, thanks for coming. Fun to be playing football again. I promise you that. Beautiful night. Um, really appreciative of everybody came out tonight, to cheer us on. And Howard was first class. I got a really good football team. Just talking to the quarterback afterwards and talked to their head coach there real quickly too. Um, I love it when people are down and you fight and come back. You know what I mean? So I just tons of respect. They had unbelievable juice and energy there, in that second half, and so again, hats off to them. Special teams, the name of the game for us. We have two game goals, and that's the turnover takeaway ratio and special teams. And so the two kickoff returns, for touchdowns were obviously monstrous. And the safety put pressure on the punt there, had them backed up and some more points from that. So really, really pleased with the job that our special teams units had done. And then our defense, we just had them out there, way too much. They had 43 plays, I think it was in the first half. And I don't know the total was, but they played, they played a lot. And I think honestly with the special teams scores early, not making an excuse, but I think it was a little maybe difficult for our offense to get into some rhythm. All of a sudden, we've got, things are rolling, but not because the offense has made these plays. And so it's kind of a weird dynamic, right? We haven't really played much, but things are going well. But that doesn't mean that, that we were getting things going in the run or pass game, but wasn't bad. And then just, got a little frustrating trying to get into some other rhythm there in the third quarter when they got some of the momentum. But they beat us in the turnover takeaway ratio, made a nice play on the interception. And, we did not get our hands on the ball the way that we want to. We have plenty to work on. But I just told the guys in the locker room, it's fun to win. I mean, winning is hard to do. Those guys, Howard worked their butts off all year round and plan and dream and just like we do. And so it's hard to win football games. And, we'll take a little bit of time to rest and relax and then get ready for week two. I mean, it wasn't, guys aren't like crazy excited, but we just did shout outs. We do shout outs after wins, and there was a ton of them. I mean, guys, there's a lot of people playing their first football. You know what I mean? And so guys are excited, for each other, in that way. I think, unprompted, tons of guys that said, hey, we got a lot of work to do and we got to get better and whatnot. That again, maybe it's because I've coached at the FCS and some of the smaller levels and whatnot, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit here and say, we're going to win this game because we're FBS and they're FCS. Right. But then we're going to turn around and say, then we're going to go beat, Minnesota next week. Good football teams are good football teams, and, football teams that are trying to find their way or football teams that are trying to find their way. And so I honestly, it's not coach talk for me. It's like, you better play at a really high level, and if you do, you have a chance to win. And if you don't, you're going to get beat. That's how it works. Right. I mean, anybody who doesn't, pay attention to FCS football, I mean, those good teams and the playoff teams and all that kind of stuff, they're great football teams. I lived in Iowa for 6 years, right? And so like South Dakota State and North Dakota State and those guys, Northern Iowa, I don't know what happened in the Iowa State game, but like, when I was there, I think Northern Iowa beat both Iowa State and Iowa, maybe multiple times. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm serious. It's just like, it's great football. So I get how everybody else sees it. I don't buy into that. What do you mean?
Like, had you guys not had the great, excellent special teams plays, had it not been,
we did,
80 yards, like, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I know what you're asking. You're saying, are you disappointed that you didn't beat this team, any worse? And what I'm trying to tell you is that's a good football team. You know what I mean? So did we play up to our capabilities of what we think that we're capable of? No, I don't know if anybody in America does week one. But yeah, so we've got plenty of work to do. I think, honestly, it was, again, I could watch the film and all that, but just the feel of the game, we had some monstrous special teams plays that didn't allow our offense to go back out. When you're getting a kickoff return, right? I mean, the offense stays on the sideline. So I don't know real time how long, the stretches were where the offense didn't go back out there. But so we just didn't get into, any rhythm. And I think we had 30 plays or something like that at halftime, right? It felt like an Army I think we had 58 total. That's not, I know people are going to talk about the clock, difference, but that was not the case for us today. It was, we were not in rhythm and sustaining drives and moving the ball. So no, there's no way we feel great about that offensively. We'll be better than that, and we had the defense out there too much, but I'm not at the same time. I mean, we just beat a good team and we beat them and, with all three phases working together, and, that's how it works. I don't think it was a surprise to anybody, you know what I mean, that he was going to wear the deuce this year, but we played a video. I think they may have played it, during the game at some point with Mr. Reed, D. Reed's dad, talking about, his son. I never got to meet D. Reed, but I've gotten to know the family. They've been incredible, all the way back to 2016 when we kind of first came up with the idea of trying to honor him, by our most senior best receiver, wearing the deuce every year. And they've just been super generous with their time. They've been here a couple of times. They've, done Zooms with us when we've done the presentations. And, we always take the time, even though I never got to meet D. Reed, but to talk about what we've learned about who he is. And we always hear back from former players that were with him here. Whenever somebody gets the deuce, it just kind of, conjures up obviously memories of their teammate. Tanner, to answer your question, he said, this is what he said, I play football for God, for my family, and for this team. And now I have another reason to play football. And that is for the memory of D. Reed and his family. And it was really well said and heartfelt. Yeah, we played a lot of tight ends today, and obviously we tried to spread the ball around. I don't think our backs maybe had any catches. I don't think 7 different receivers will end up being odd, as the season goes. I mean, I think it's going to be. We have a lot of guys who are capable of catching the ball. So I think Austin was maybe 10 of 15, at halftime. And again, it was just a matter of now there's a couple of balls that I think could have been caught that were potentially big plays that, may had us feeling a little bit different. But no, I thought he was seeing things well. It was a really good interception, by the flat player. We had a corner and a flat route by our back, and guy made a great play. I think Austin probably would have liked to put a little bit more air under that. But yeah, it's not a surprise that many different guys caught the ball. Yeah, we, part of what we wanted to do is really affect the quarterback in both the pass game and the run game, limit explosives. And they definitely had some explosive runs. And, when you have 3 all-conference running backs returning with 3 all-conference offensive linemen returning on what I think is a good football team, I thought they did a great job, and not that we weren't prepared. We'd worked it, to getting into some of the Wildcat, and obviously that was effective as well. So they had they had a good plan, and, after 8 months, not being able to really know what someone's going to do, it's always hard trying to figure that out. And I think they did a good job. They had to figure out some of the things that we were doing defensively too. It's a chess match. And you don't know what pieces the other team has in week one. It's always a chess match, but that part is, makes week one's really interesting. Yeah. Well, that drive became a big long drive because Austin, broke contain right on that long run and really kind of got us going, which was good. And Yeah, just we had a little bit of rhythm and momentum there. And the message was to take care of the football, right? We're up 7. We did not want our defense to go back out there, and got into a situation where I just thought the best thing to do to try to go up 10 and make them, with 4 minutes left, score twice. And so we want to play smart football at that point.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
I hope so. But man, it's a lot of fast guys out there, but I hope I am. So honestly, the guys that are blocking for me, they just make it so easy. I just see a lot of space. I just try to run through it. So the guys that's blocking for me, they give me a lot of confidence. So I thought I was explosive, but I think the older I get, my game is starting to grow. So I feel like it's just coming with reps, and the more I play, I feel like the better I get, kind of. So I definitely feel like me and Samson, we like the perfect combo. A lot of people say thunder and lightning. So really just whenever they need me to do something, I'm there. Really, we was just focused on Howard this week. We haven't really looked past Howard because we know how good they were. So now, we're off Monday, so we're going to come back Sunday and watch the film and see and go from there. Man, honestly, it was a punt. It wasn't like, yeah, so he punted it. So I was just like, I didn't know how far it was gonna go. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I didn't know, I never caught one of those really like that. So after I caught it, I was really just trying to set them up going one way, try to go back the other way. So like when I went back to the left, I just seen a lot of space and I was able to, use my speed and just went through. The punts, they're actually like a lot higher than a kickoff. So and he punted it pretty good. So I had to kind of run back towards it a little bit, but I was able to catch it. So honestly, I'm just grateful because it's so many great players in Texas. And to be named to that, I really almost cried, but I'm blessed, so I'm thankful.